Hi, welcome to another episode of Book Covers DIY. I'm your host, Red, and today I'll be teaching you how to design a book cover in the fantasy genre. So let's get started. Okay, so just go on over to canva.com. This is that beginner-friendly design website that we've been using for all of our previous book covers. If you've never been to the site before, you will just click on Get Canva Free and sign up right here. Now, I'm already logged into my account, so once you sign up and get to the homepage, it will look like this. There are tons of templates you can make for different designs, but we are going to be focusing on book covers. So you can scroll through here until you find the book cover template or click on more. I'm just going to make it really simple and type in book cover in the search box. So it's going to take us over to the book cover templates page. As you can see here, there are currently 1,575 templates. You have a huge assortment of all different genres, fiction, nonfiction. You have different styles here and themes. So if you see a book cover that just, catches your eye, you're welcome to, here's a fantasy one called Fairy Tales. You're welcome to, click on this. You can change it up, add your own photo or change up the font and things like that. But today I'm going to show you how to make one from scratch. So we're going to come back up to create a blank book cover and click on that option. It's going to open us up in the Design Studio. And here on the right, we have our canvas. And here on the left, we have our toolbox. As you can see, all of our templates are now here in our toolbox. But we also have other features such as elements, uploads, text, photos, background, etc. First thing we need to do is define a fantasy photo that's going to be our main idea. So let's go over to Photos. Okay, and then we can go to the search bar top and we can type in, let's say that this is a princess story. So I'm just going to search for princess and immediately we have a ton of options here. Look at these. We've got some great photos here. And if you watched our second episode, I did go through the licensing information about these, that they are available for print or ebook. Royalty-free stock photos that you can use for commercial products such as ebooks and print books. So you can just scroll through here and find one that you like. Now you'll notice that some of them have this little crown in the corner. That means that these photos are available with the pro version of Canva. But if you're just using the free version and you want to filter those out, you can come back up to the search box and right here see these little control lines. We're going to click on that and you can come right in here and under price you can click on free and apply filters, and now you can see that it filtered out everything that was with the pro version. So now everything you see here is available for use with the Canva free version. But if you go through my affiliate link in the description box below, you will have access to everything in here, the free and pro version. So make sure to take advantage of that. Okay. So here's one option to find your background photo. Another option, we're going to go over to pixabay.com, and this is also a royalty-free stock photo website that you can use everything for commercial products, print, and ebook. Again, on the second episode of Book Covers DIY, I cover that in detail. So today I'm going to skip over that, and we're just going to go right to searching. So here in the search bar, I'm going to type in princess, and you'll notice that we have photos, but we also have like vector graphics and illustrations. I want only photos, so I'm going to come back up and right here where it says images, I'm going to click on that and I'm just going to click on photos. So now it's going to get rid of everything that was an illustration or a vector graphic. Okay, so let's just scroll through here. Here's some great photos we could use. I really like that one. That's like perfectly shaped for a book cover. Let's see what else we got. I mean, there are just pages and pages of this stuff that you can scroll through until you find the perfect image. Look at this. This would be great for like a Snow White reimagining story. Don't use anything that is licensed, like this of the Disney castle with Walt and Mickey. Just completely skip over that. Here's another one here of the castle. Oh, I really like this one. Okay, I really like this. Is like a princess and looks like there's some dragons in the background. Let me scroll a little bit more. Here's another great one right here. Okay, you know, I'm just going to come back. I really like this one. I could totally see this being a book cover. So I'm just going to click on that image. And here it takes us into another page. This website is also free. I'm not even logged in. I usually am. So you don't even have to bother with signing up or anything with Pixabay. So I'm just going to click on free download. And you can adjust the size. I'm just going to leave it as it is and click on download. Okay, now if you're not signed in, you do have to go through these extra reCAPTCHA steps. Okay. All right, so it has downloaded and interesting, it's called Mount St. Helens. Let's go back over to Canva. And now I'm going to show you how to get the photo of the princess onto our canvas. So come over here to your toolbox and click on Uploads. And now let's click on Upload Media. Okay, we are going to go to our downloads and click on this Mount St. Helens and open. And you can see it is loading right here. Once it gets all the way across, that means it's ready. So just click on the image and it will appear over here. All right, now the first thing we need to do is we need to stretch it out. So just grab any of the four corners and begin stretching it. Okay, and then now we can center it. When it's perfectly centered, you'll see a solid line appear. So there's one there, and we're gonna click off to the side. Now, when you bring the photos in, you can leave them as they are, but it's always best to kind of tweak them or, you know, just kind of enhance them, give them a little bit of something extra. To do that, we're gonna click on the photo. And once we click on it, you're gonna see some options up here. We're gonna click on Edit Image. And then now we have some new tools in our toolbox. First of all, we're going to scroll down. There's some great features in here, filters and things like that. Photogenic is the one I'm going to use today. This is, you know, where I usually go first, but I just want to show you there's also some paint effects you can do to your photos. These are supposed to look like an old TV. Here's some here. Color mix. These are kind of just like distortion screens. I don't think you would want to use any of that. And some other fun options down here. So let's go back to my favorite feature is the photogenic, and I clicked on See All. So these are divided by tones. Here's natural tones, warm, cool, vivid, soft, vintage. Mono would be the black and white, and then these color pops. I want to try maybe something warm today. So let's come back up. So you can just start clicking on them and see if there's any that, you know, you really like. That's a little bit too orange for my liking. This is a nice one, this Sangri. It's either retro. Okay, retro. I think I like this retro look to it because it gives it a warm appearance, but not too warm like the ones we were trying over here. You can also adjust the intensity by clicking on those controls in there and see, here's the intensity. Maybe I'll put that at a 0.6 or 60 and apply. And I do want to make some of my own adjustments. So I'm going to click on See All. And now let's go in here to these controls. So here's the brightness. You can see it gets brighter until it's blown out. I might darken that just slightly, maybe at a -10. Here's contrast. The whites get whiter and the darks get darker. Maybe I'll put that at a 5. Saturation is going to increase the color or decrease the color. I might put that as a 5 as well. The 10 is going to completely change the color. See, it turned green and pink. I actually kind of like that pink. Okay, so here's where it was before, but I'm kind of liking, this is more of a reddish pink and this is more of a purplish pink. I'm kind of liking that purplish pink. I think I might do something kind of drastically different than I was planning. Okay, I'm actually going to leave this tint at all the way at 100 and we'll see how we like that. Okay, blur, I don't usually like that. It's going to blur your image. X process, I don't really use those often, but vignette, you definitely want to use vignette. It's going to give you a darkening around the edges. So I'm going to increase that and you can see it's getting darker around the 4 corners, and you see it almost made like a halo appearance right there. I don't think I want to go that dark, so let me come back to maybe a 50. Okay, here's the warmth. You can increase it. It turns it more, you know, golden. and more blue. I'm just going to leave that one at 0. Clarity, vibrance, I'm going to leave those. Highlights and shadows, I think I'm going to leave all of that alone for today. Okay, if you decide you don't like what you've done to your photo, you can just click on reset and it'll undo everything. Or you can undo things one at a time by clicking undo up here. All right, so let's get out of adjust. We're done with that, and we're also out of editing our image, so let's just click on edit image. Okay, next I want to go in and add some text. So let's go over to our toolbox and click on this T for text. We can either start from scratch by adding a heading, subheading, or body text, or you can try out some of these pre-made designs or titles. And as you can see, some of these have the crown as well, so those are only available with the Pro option, but of course you have access to that if you use my affiliate link. There are others that don't have it that are free to use, like this one, these, and there's quite a few down here that are free as well. Okay, I think I'm just going to go ahead and start from scratch as well. So I'm going to come back to the top and click on add a heading, and our text box appears over here on our canvas. I'm going to drag that up, and then I'm going to double click in there and backspace. Let's just call this Dragon Princess. And if you want to make this bigger, you can grab one of the corners and drag it till it's the size you want, or you can come up here to the drop down and click on a number, or you can use the increase decrease buttons. And let's drag it to the middle, and you can see that the solid line appears when it's perfectly centered. Okay, we need to change the font. Please make sure you have a font that matches the style and feel of your book. Now, I don't mean to go like crazy with something, curly swirly that is almost impossible to read. Don't do that. But definitely pick something better than the default font, which this one is Open Sans Extra. And then once we click on this little down caret, all of our font choices appear over on the left in our toolbox. As you can see, it saves some of my recently used fonts, which is a great feature if you can't remember what you used before. Let's scroll down and let's just try out some. I kind of want something cursive for this design. Again, you can see some of these have crowns. Those are with Canva Pro, but a good majority of them are available with the free version. Okay, let's try this Alex brush. Now that's a nice one. Look at that. Okay, I just noticed something as well. I don't want them directly above each other, so let me come over here and let me delete Princess. So we're going to work with just Dragon first, because I think I'm going to want one here and then one maybe kind of like stair-stepped. So we'll just work with Dragon right now. Okay, let's come back to our font choices. Okay, so I think I like this one. I'm going to stick with this one. There's great vibes. So let me make it slightly bigger. Okay, and then I want to do the same design for Princess. So I can either come back over here and do add a heading and then go find great vibes and all that again, or to make it even simpler, just click on Dragon, the text box. Right above it, you'll see this little icon that says duplicate. Click on that, and now you have a second dragon. Double click in there and just write Princess. Okay, so now you didn't have to go through the trouble of finding the font and the size and everything. So now what I want to do is I want to stair step them. So one over here and one over here. First thing I need to do is I want to line them up with the left side of the text box. So I clicked on Dragon, and you're going to come up here and you see how it says alignment. Right now it's centered. I'm going to click on it, and you can see it changed to the left alignment. So the D moved over here to this line, and I'm going to do the same thing with Princess. Just come up here to alignment. Okay, let's move Dragon over here, and you can see your guidelines show you what is the, maybe central area of your book cover. So I'm going to line the D up with this pink line, and then I'm just going to move Princess over here. Let me make this smaller actually. And I'm going to move that probably right about there. Okay, let's see how that looks. If you want to make these one box instead of two text boxes, click on Dragon, Then hold down your shift and click on Princess. Now you can see this dotted line box appears around them. Come up here to Group, and when you click on Group, now it puts them in one box. So you can actually move them as one. And if you ever decided you want to ungroup them, just go back and click on Ungroup. But now we can easily move them. Not only that, you can stretch them to make them bigger or smaller. Oh, and by the way, if you want to change the color of your font, click on your text box, and then you can come up here to this little A with a rainbow bar beneath it. Click on text color, and then you can change your font colors. If you scroll down, you can see all these different default colors. And right above that, it says photo colors, and it has our original photo here. And you can see this is before we added that sort of rose colored filter. But our original photo, it had these cream colors and browns. If you ever want to match your font to a color in your photo, you can just come here and like watch maybe you can see now I'm changing it. Okay, so you can see that it matches whatever color I click on. Another option is you can come up here to where at the very top it says document colors. There's a plus sign and it says add a new color. You can click in there and you can slide your slider to the different hues, and then you can use this to get the different shades. As you can see, as I'm dragging it along, the word dragon is changing. Or you can click on this eyedropper tool. It says pick a color from the design, and you'll get this sort of waffle grid appears. And whatever color you place it over on your background, the text or the word will change to that color. So maybe we'll try down here in this sort of dark grass. And I'm just going to click. Okay, and so you see dragon change to that color. It's kind of hard to tell because it was already so dark, but you can see here is the color it changed to. It's almost like a purpley black or like an eggplant. I want to change princess as well. So what I can do is just click on princess, and here's the color. It is black, and this saves the color you just recently used. So that's the color we used from dragon that we captured from down here. So if I click on that, it automatically just changed for me. So now dragon princess, even though you really can't slightly tell the difference, instead of black, it's sort of this purpley black. Okay, I want to add something more in here to let you know that this is sort of a, magical fantasy. So let's go over to elements. And Elements has a lot of fun stuff to use. I'm going to type in the search bar, maybe glitter. Here are some of our glitter options. If you notice, this one right here is twinkling. To get rid of all the animated results, come back up to the search box, and we're going to click on these little controls and scroll down to animation. We want to click on static. We only want static results. Again, if you want to filter out anything with the Pro, just click on free and you will only get free results. I have the Pro version, so I'm going to leave it as is. So I'm just going to click on apply filters. Again, here's some with the crowns and here's some without. I think I like this one right here. Let's try that one. This one's really yellow gold, but I think we can change it. So I'm just going to stretch that out slightly larger than the width of the book cover, and you can see the solid line appears once it's centered. Let me come over here to edit image, and we should have some filter options again. Okay, so it looks like here under duotone, I'm going to click under see all. Okay, yes, this is what I'm looking for. So there's some, I think this is going to be too bold. Yeah, that's definitely too pink. Let's try something like this blush. That's nice. Or coral. Oh, I think I like that coral. Let's try dawn. Okay, no, definitely coral. So once you click off to the side, look at that. Doesn't that look so great? Adding just a little detail like that just really just gives it that extra little punch it needs to stand out. Okay, I think we need to go ahead and just add in our author name, and then I will show you how to quickly make a whole second version of this so that you can have your fans vote. Okay, so let's go back over to text, and this time we're going to add a subheading because we want it to be slightly smaller. I'm just going to drag it down here Okay, it's going to be hard to see for a minute because it's black on the dark grass. So let's click in there and let's just go ahead and just click on text color, and we'll just change it white for right now, just so you can see. Okay, now let's think of an author name. Melody, let's just say Melody Markle. I don't know. I'm just making up something. Okay, again, you don't have to make this fancy, but don't just leave it with this really basic font. So let's just find something not as fancy as this, because we don't want to compete with that, but we just want something a little bit nicer than this open sans. So I'm going to come over here and let's find something. Okay, I kind of like this black mango. Let's see. Semi-bold. I like this semi-bold. Okay, so black mango, semi-bold. Okay, that looks nice. All right, so let's change the color. We're going to click in here and come up to text color. Again, here are our photo colors. Now it has a second row. These are the colors that are in our glitter. It's hard to see, but that's what's in our glitter. So you can choose one of those if you like. I think I want to match her dress, so I'm going to come back up here, come up to document colors, and click on the dropper, and let's put it over her dress. And once I click on it, as you can see, it matches perfectly, disappears right into the dress. So let's just bring it down and center it. There's our solid line, and let's click off to the side. Okay, so I think that's it for this first version. I'm going to show you now how to come up with a second design so that you can have your readers, your followers vote. Okay, instead of starting all over from scratch, watch how quickly we're going to do this. Okay, we're going to come right up above our book cover. You can see there's some little icons here. We want to click on duplicate page, and when I click on that, it brings us down to, as you notice, page 2. See, here's the original page 1. That's the one we just designed. We are going to come down to page 2 and only work on this one. So first of all, quickest, easiest, simplest way to immediately change things up is to click on our photo. You're actually going to have to double click on it this time because we need our little 4 dots to appear in the corners. So double click on it. There they are. Okay, now we're just going to stretch it, and it's perfectly fine to stretch it off the page. So I'm going to first of all just make her much bigger. And so, like, even though we're losing these other 2 dragons, we're able to see this one so much more. I want to make sure that we can see the author name. It's okay if the end of her dress is cut off, but I don't want to cut off her hand. So maybe right about there, and then I'm going to click off to the side, click on dragon, and then let's come over here to our font choices, and let's find a different font. Okay, so for this one, I really like this tangerine. And let me change princess also to tangerine. Okay, so now that we've changed the font, you can see that they're not lined up as well. So we need to adjust that. So click on the main box, and then remember we had grouped them together on the first one. This time we want to ungroup them. So you just come up here to the right and click on ungroup. So now we have 2 boxes again, and we can move them separately. Okay, I'm going to drag this right to the end of the N, and I'm going to drag this right to the end of the S, because I want that P to be right below the G. Not directly, because see, they're going to touch, but maybe just to the side of it. Okay, so now that we have them lined up much better, let's go ahead and regroup them. So click on dragon, hold down shift, and click on princess. There's our dotted line box, and let's click on group. Okay, so now we have our solid box again, and now we can make them both larger at the same time. And then we can adjust this. Here it's centered. I'm going to bring it down just slightly and click off to the side. So you can see we have a totally different font. This one's a little bit more delicate, whereas this one has a bolder font. Okay, and we definitely need to bring this down so you can see it. Okay, another thing I think I want to do with this one is we have this rose gold look on this one. So I'm thinking on this one we might try a different filter just to give it a little bit of a different feel. Okay, so let's click on the background photo and come up here to edit image like we did on our first canvas. So let's try some of these cool tones. Or we can just adjust them ourselves, and let's go to adjust. See, here's what we have before. Maybe we'll try something a little bit more purplish blue. So it has a little bit of a more of a cold look to it. I think that looks pretty good. Now let's go adjust some of these. Here's our brightness. Let's put a -5, increase our contrast to a 10, saturation to 10. Let's add our vignette, probably about a 50. Maybe bring this to a -10 because I want this to kind of have a cooler look to it. Here's a vibrance if you want to increase that, maybe a 5. I think highlights and shadows are good. Okay, let's come out of here. Okay, now our glitter doesn't match anymore, so we need to adjust that. So I clicked on the glitter again, and we're going to go up to edit image. And let's see, we chose that rose gold from duotone, so let's click on duotone. Now we need something more along the lines of purple. Let's try this lavender. Dawn. What do we have? Classic. Oh, this is silver, but I really like the way that looks. Let's try pop. Oh, that is way too bright. Okay, I'm gonna go with this classic, which is more of a silver tone. Okay, that looks pretty great just as it is. If you wanted to, you can click on it and come over here to the little checkerboard, and you can bring down the transparency, maybe about 75, and then click off to the side. So you can still see it. I'm gonna bring it down slightly and make sure it's centered. So I think we are done with our second version. Okay, to save your projects in Canva, first thing you'll want to do is right here where it says add a heading. We are going to just type in Dragon Princess book cover designs. Okay, and then over here where it says file, it automatically saves it every, I don't know, I believe 20 seconds. But if you ever just want to save it, you can come over here and click save. And then to download them to your computer, come over to the upper right and you're going to click on share. And then come down to download. For ebooks, you want to change that from PDF standard to JPEG. And then right here it says select pages, all pages 2, because we are downloading both of these book covers. But if you only wanted to download one, click the drop down and then you will just check off page 1 or page 2. We'll click on done and download. Okay, when the confetti is falling, that means it is downloading. In the meantime, you can come down to this link and click copy. You can share this with your family and friends or email it to your, your subscriber list. And this link will take them to this preview page where they can take a look at the 2 book covers. They don't have to sign into Canva or have an account or anything like that. But this is really cool. It's a great way to get your readers and followers to also vote on the final book cover. If you can see down here, there are some emojis, hearts, and things like that. So here is book cover 1. If you click the arrow, then it takes you to our second book cover, which is this one right here. Okay, let's hop on back over to Canva. So you just need to go over to your downloads or wherever you've saved them to. Okay, they are going to download into a zip file. So double click the zip and it's going to place them into a folder. Click on that. All right, so let's click on our first book cover and then our second. Okay, so I'm just going to place them side by side so we can take a look at them. And you can see the similarities and the differences. So let's call this, book cover 1. We have these nice rose gold tones. You can see the mountain. You can see all 3 dragons in the background. These are a lot fainter. they're farther back. We have this nice rose gold glitter and this font. And we have our princess full body, but farther away, so we can see a lot more of the foreground and the grass. And then over here on our second book cover, we have her much closer, so she's pretty much the foreground. And then here we have, mostly you can just see this one dragon, but it's much more clearer and closer than this one. We have a totally different font here, but this one we have a much like cooler tone to it. So this one has that sort of lavender look to it, and then we have our silver glitter on this one. So you can see that we were able to make this entire second cover, which is in a matter of minutes. Like I said, you post these on your social media, or you could send that link to your followers. So this is a great way to interact with your followers and readers and get them involved and get them excited about your upcoming book release. All right, so I hope you enjoyed today's fantasy book cover tutorial. I had a great time making these. Make sure to subscribe to our channel because I'm going to be doing a lot more book covers, different genres, fiction and nonfiction. And in case you didn't know, I also have a website, a blog, bookcoversdiy.com. Head over there and you'll see a lot of my other book cover designs, as well as just basic, tips and tricks on writing. So be sure and check that out. If you enjoyed today's video and want to show your appreciation, I do have a Buy Me a Coffee link on my website and in the description box below. Any and all support is greatly appreciated. So thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.